over your eyes?
Only when you're
So
close
then you
enough
cannot
visual,
see
distance there.
me.
Right? That's right.
Excellent.
That's right. Yeah.
How about over your ears? You know what they say? Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
Yeah. See no Jeff, hear no Jeff, speak no Jeff.
Wowza. That's right. Indeed. How's it
Yeah,
going there, Daniel?
it is going.
Got a few minutes to speak with you today. You
All
don't
right.
have anything this morning, do you?
No, I don't have
Your
anything all
day.
day.
Oh, that's right. It starts next week here, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Of
it's your
course.
school. You should know about that. But
Oh God, I'm already started many places already. I can't even keep track.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'm starting
Yep.
2 other universities already this week.
Wow.
Last week actually, because the 15th, or sorry, the 22nd
Mm.
was the first day at KGU down the street there.
Ah.
It
Oh, that's right.
was a
Your Monday
Monday schedule.
schedule on
Yeah.
Wednesday. Yeah. Those
Uh,
things. I mean,
yeah.
why they do that? I mean, I
Yeah.
understand to a certain extent why they do it, but every school that that we teach at, every school in the country has a large number of adjunct, the outside teachers, and that those virtual days just cause so much havoc for them, trying to adjust their schedule. It just
Certainly does.
yeah.
You're
I mean, if
right. It's just crazy.
they need some kind of inter university coordination, so that if one school does that, the other schools do it at the same time, or I mean, some kind of coordination to just to make it a little bit less of a burden for the
They
people.
do. They do. They sure do. I've had problems where I wasn't able to do those kind of virtual days, those
Yeah,
rescheduled days. Yeah, I've had to say,
yeah,
sorry, I have another class, at my
yeah,
real university. So,
yeah. I wonder now if you could do that. You say, okay, well, all right, I'll go to this classroom and I'll do the other one, online at the
Yeah.
same time, right? You get paid twice for one thing, right?
There you
Yeah. All
go.
right.
Now you probably could.
Yeah.
I'm
That's an
assuming
interesting idea. I may try that.
it
In the
is. You
future,
should.
it's like, yeah, well,
Yeah, you should try that, Dan. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, all righty, we'll
So
do that.
then I'm back to this previous Monday was KGU again online, and today is the other one that
Yeah,
begins with an L, right? And then
yeah.
Friday we start 100% back here.
Mm.
So Friday I'll be busy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good for you. Good for
It
you. Keeps you out of
is, I
trouble.
guess. Yeah, that's true. It does keep me out of trouble. I wonder what I'm going to do when I retire. I have a lot of hobbies to keep me occupied.
Yep.
Will I
Yeah.
have to
I'm
look at
starting.
your face when we retire?
Oh, absolutely. We're gonna be doing broadcasts, joint broadcasts like this until we're uh, shriveled up old timers.
Excellent. Yeah.
All righty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to our guitar lessons, man.
Oh yeah, I got to get those new strings on. I'll get that guitar to you this week.
Oh,
Early
okay.
next week. What day is it? Oh, it's Wednesday already.
Yeah, it's
Early
Wednesday
next
already.
week, I promise.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
The
Okay.
strings are
Sounds
really
good.
rusty on the guitar, and it's very, painful to even try to play. So I need to get
Yep.
those new strings on.
Yeah. I've been
Uh,
just a little bit for about 15, 20 minutes a day, but I've got a ukulele, right? And,
oh wow.
which I never really learned how to play, but I tuned it up and have been playing around for about 10, 15 minutes, just about every day. So trying to get my fingers, back into, the pattern of trying to do some chords and so on. Right. Of course, the tuning, it's not going to help me too much remembering the chords, because the tuning, of course, between the ukulele and a guitar is so different. But
It's a bit different, right? The chords are different too. Yeah. So
mm.
those
one
chords
thing,
you're learning on ukulele won't really transfer over well.
yeah, one thing I think is so interesting about, or so interesting, a little interesting about a ukulele is, I mean, in a guitar, the top string is the lowest string, right? And they go up, they get a higher and higher tone as you go down, right, along the 6 strings, right? But in the
Yes.
ukulele, the top string is not the lowest string, the second
Mm,
string, right? The second
I
string is
guess it's
actually
like that,
lower.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Right. I guess that's
yeah,
the way it is. Yeah.
yeah.
And the tuning is a friend of, I don't know if ukulele
Mhm,
from a hole in the ground, but
mm.
I should pick up one. But the tuning is apparently learned from a good friend of mine back in the day. My dog has fleas.
Oh yeah.
Right. Those are the 4. So
Okay.
the 4 open strings on a ukulele. My dog has fleas. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So yeah, the second one's lower for some reason. Yeah, it's what is it?
yeah.
Uh,
Interesting, right? I'm not
yep,
sure why
yeah.
that is either.
I don't know. I
But
guess when
I
you
do have a
strum it, that's
ukulele too that doesn't have a bridge piece where the strings go over.
oh,
It broke off.
oops.
Was a gift ages ago.
Mm,
Wasn't, I guess, the most expensive ukulele, so I need to
mm.
put a new bridge in there or get it fixed before I
Oh,
can
mine's a
play.
cheap one too. I mean, it's a what are they? I mean, they have ukuleles also are like soprano, alto, tenor, and or whatever.
Hmm.
Baritone or something like that. Is that what they are? I can't remember. Something like that. Yeah, they've got 4 different sizes of ukulele.
They
And of
do,
course,
don't they?
yeah, I think the bigger they are, the more expensive they are, of course. So I think a baritone ukulele, you're up in the price of a decent guitar, even. So mine is just
Wow.
like the cheapest little thing that you can find, just about. But it'll hold its tune now that the strings are stretched out. It'll hold its tune, and I
Yeah.
can play around with it, get my fingers a little bit toughened up for playing that guitar.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Okay. So you're going to be playing it though with your right hand, the strumming hand. Is that okay?
Yep,
Your
yep,
left hand will be the chord hand. Yeah.
yep. That's the way I got to do it. Yeah, I can't do it. It's because when I was the first guitar I actually picked up was a bass guitar, and
Okay.
and it just when that's the way it was. That's the way the guitar was set up. It's a regular right-handed guitar, your standard guitar, bass guitar. And I picked it up and started strumming it that way. And so I guess that your first exposure to something tends to stick with you, right? And so since that was my first exposure, that's just the way that I learned. And so now it's just natural for me to chord with my left and strum with my right, or pluck with my right. Yep.
Right. Good. Because that'll be the way you're going to do it. But your dominant hand is your left, so it might even be better to do chords.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I got to think about which string I'm plucking with my right hand a little bit harder, though. I mean, you don't
Right.
want me to do a Jimi Hendrix on you there and flip it around and play it upside down.
You, you can. Yeah, I saw the snare. Right, he did do that, didn't he? Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I mean,
He
he
took
had a
a six
regular.
string, normal 6 string, yeah, regular, and flipped it upside down. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You,
yeah.
you want to try that?
That would be interesting. Yeah, I'm the new Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, I look just like him, don't I?
Oh, you do. You do, man. Those glasses are spitting image.
Yeah, right.
Your hair, it's spitting image, man.
Yep, absolutely. What little
So
hair I
you
got
have
left.
classes what Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday over there?
Yep. And then Wednesday at your
Okay,
place starting next week.
starting next week. Yeah. Wow. It's going to be
Yep.
busy starting next week, for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually, after we finish up our broadcast here, I'm gonna put up a questionnaire on Teams to my students and ask them what their preference is for being in the classroom or online, right? I figure
Right.
that some of them may have classes that are online. And so, for example, if they have, the period before my class, if they're, in the classroom already, they're on campus, it would be most
Mm-hmm.
convenient for them to, come to my classroom also. Where on the other hand, if they're online, if they have a remote class the period before mine or after mine, maybe they would prefer to be online for mine also. So I just thought I'd get their feedback, because I'm flexible, man. I'm flexible.
Yeah, I'm flexible too. I use textbooks, right, for
Mhm.
my classes, and I was asked yesterday for a couple of classes if I wouldn't mind if and when classes go back to face in person, if I wouldn't mind using a regular classroom, right, with the students using the textbook, right? They usually try to accommodate full-time teachers with computer rooms, so we have that flexibility. This year, of course, is very different, and they asked me if I wouldn't mind doing that because they needed to free up some computer rooms because they're, they're spreading out classes, right? They have capacity problems. The computer rooms are basically half capacity, so students have to be in 2 rooms as opposed to 1 room. It's a bit of a problem. So I can actually. I'm flexible. We use textbooks. I like to bend over backwards and put my head through my leg and wrap my arm around my butt, and bend over backwards and do all kinds of. So I'm flexible, maybe. So I said, sure, I said, that's no problem. So they were really ecstatic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good news. All right.
Yeah. So,
all right. So, well, I mean, I know you don't have a lot of time here. Shall we go ahead and talk about something?
Let's do that. Let's do that. Oh my God.
So let's see what we got going here. Yeah.
So Layman's philosophy. Yep. I know that one.
Yep. I got you on center stage there. There you go. All right. There we go.
Yeah. This is better. Thank you.
All right. So Layman's philosophy is the title here. Here's a question. I don't think we talked about that. Is there any such thing as luck?
That is a really good question. Yeah. I always listen to this podcast. I know I've probably mentioned this before. It's called How I Built This. It's about people who built famous companies, right? And there's a question in there that towards the end, the host always asks, how much of your business success was attributed to hard work and how much to luck, right? People, often say that, a large percentage was luck, right? Now, of course, what do we mean by luck? We have to delineate that, right? And some people explain that as being in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people at the right time, doing the thing that they needed to do right when it was necessary. So timing is a lot of that, I think. And I think yes, there is. I think you can create your own luck to a degree. Right.
But if you're creating your own luck, isn't that kind of a skill? Isn't that kind of, I mean, that's an active thing that you're doing. Right? Whereas my impression of luck is that it's, beyond you. It's something that happens outside of your influence. That's what makes it luck. Right. So to make your own luck seems kind of counterintuitive to me.
Yeah. I mean, kind of try to not really create your own luck, or maybe kind of try more to be lucky, as it were. Try to actually see opportunities when they arise, and to put yourself in good places, right, and meet the right people when they need to. So yeah, it's sort of a skill, but you don't know what's going to occur from it. Right. So I mean, if you put yourself in the right place at the right time, hopefully, nothing may occur from it. Yeah.
Right. What you've just been talking about really fits my idea of what luck is. I mean, I don't believe in luck as a thing. I believe it's just a coincidence. Just a certain arrangement of the matter and the energy in the universe just happen to coalesce in such a way that such a thing happens, right? And it tends to benefit some people and not others, and so on. But yeah, you can maximize the chances of those good those fortunate coincidences occurring by like you just said, being aware,
right?
Making connections, maintaining connections, and so on. Absolutely. Makes
exactly right. Cool. Exactly. So I tend to feel that way more. Like, I don't believe you're going to go out, like you're going to have a desire in mind or an intent in mind and go out and find a 4-leaf clover and then you're going to get that thing. I don't really
Right.
ascribe to that much.
All right. So you're not superstitious at all?
I, I have my superstitions
Really?
actually. Yeah,
Really? Where
kind of right. I mean, I have the thing like for example, if I don't bring my red coffee cup,
uh-huh.
you know, I may not be able to move to the next level or something negative might happen.
Oh,
Right, so
really? Okay.
that's kind of superstitious, almost like a sports athlete, right, wearing the
Right.
same jersey without washing it for like
Right. Right.
40 games or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of. I do kind of have that.
Oh, really? Yeah. Me, not at all. Not at all. No, I don't think there's a superstitious atom in my body. It's just I mean, I have, there are things that I like to have with me, but it's not because I believe that they're going to benefit me in any other way than I just feel more comfortable having that particular item, like you said, using
Oh,
that
okay.
particular cup and so on, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, there you go. So, I mean, not having it might detract a little from your experience.
I mean, yeah, I mean, and to the same extent, I mean, if you go to a restaurant and because they have your favorite dish, and you go there and they happen to be sold out of that dish that day, so but you're already there, so you order something else. I mean, it's that's not luck, but it's going to detract from my experience at the restaurant, right? So it's that kind of thing. It's
I
it's
see.
not it's not really doing anything for me other than my own feeling, right? Yeah.
Right. So, if you were to go to a casino, if you were to be a gambler, I don't know if you're a gambler, but if you were to go to a casino
Hmm.
and holding your lucky rabbit's foot or whatever, right? Right.
No,
And you're like, ah, you get the feeling going for the dice,
yeah,
and
no,
you roll the
absolutely
dice
not.
or
No,
whatever.
no,
Okay.
no lucky totems or anything like that. No lucky, ceremonies or anything. No lucky, convolutions that I go through, before I roll the dice. Have beautiful girl, blow on them or something. No, none of that, right? I mean, to me, that's all distracting from I want to focus on what it is. If I'm playing poker, I want to focus on the cards. If I'm rolling the dice, I don't know. I mean, there's not much you can do about rolling the dice, but
Yeah.
yeah, the for me, those kind of behaviors are just distractions. So yeah.
Yeah. Interestingly. Yeah, interestingly, those lucky charms, those good luck
Uh-huh.
items, right? We were just
Yeah.
talking about, or omamuri in Japanese.
Right.
Um, and a lot of people believe in omamori as in having like good luck for driving or good luck for jobs or good luck for finances, etc. Right? And
Yeah.
they buy these omamori, right? And I was in Aso over the weekend, right? Mount Aso, and
Mm-hmm.
we drove all over. My wife and I, we went to various places, and we went to a couple of shrines, and they had omamori. Now, my previous wife's father loved omamori. He would get it
Uh,
every time, every year for driving, basically,
right.
and for business, for finance, right?
Right.
And so I kind of got into it for a little bit. I said, that's interesting. Maybe there's something to it, sort of. Maybe you're more a careful driver,
Mm,
or you watch your finances more, right?
mm, mm,
And
mm, mm.
if it's not more than that, then that's might be enough, right?
Right.
um I don't know if the traffic god's going to come down and right, kind of prevent you from having an accident, but
Mm,
at least maybe you're more careful, right? So
right.
it's for me, it's an interesting line like that, sort
Mm.
of
Yeah, I
like.
yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, having those things can cause you to kind of focus or be a reminder. It's like, you see that hanging from, your rear view mirror there, and it's like, oh yeah, I need to be careful or something like that. So yeah, that type of visual reminder. But as far as it
Right.
having any kind of power, any kind of link to something else, no, I don't believe that. I've never believed that. But yeah, when I was married to a Japanese woman, going to the shrine at the New Year, the Hatsumode, and taking care of things like that. Yeah, always buying, taking the old things, had to be burned at the shrine, right? And then buying the new ones and so on, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, yeah,
remember
yeah.
doing that.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I did that too, right? And
When you buy a
actually,
new car, do you still have
yeah,
it blessed?
yeah, right,
Yeah.
sure, yeah, we do. And when
Okay.
we built our house, we had it blessed too.
Okay.
Actually, right? They
Yeah.
come in and they have this, this omomori they put in the house, and
Yeah.
the owner of the house has to drive in the first nail, and they say
Mm,
a good luck prayer, right? Yeah.
wow.
Hmm.
When
So I did that.
Our house in the Philippines, yeah, when the groundbreaking, they had to have, say words over it and spill chicken blood or something like that, or
Wow.
around,
Okay.
yeah. In the Philippines, it's like that too. Yep. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
Philippines is an interesting place because it's it's so predominantly Roman Catholic, and yet there are a lot of the natives superstitions and so on that are still firmly entrenched in people's minds there. So
That
it's really
is
quite
really
interesting. Yeah.
That's very interesting, isn't it? That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You got that amalgamation, right, of two cultures, kind of, right? Two
Yep.
thought patterns. Good. Okay.
Oh,
Would you
sorry.
look?
Sorry,
Uh,
sorry.
oh,
I skipped ahead one there. Sorry. Yeah.
okay.
Is it more important to be a leader or a follower?
More important. That's an interesting one. Gosh, more important. Uh, well, I think there are times when you should be both, when you have to be both, right?
Mm, mm, mm.
And it's good to be both, actually. I think,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the time and
Mm-hmm.
depending on what your role is, what you're up to at the moment. So I
Mm-hmm.
think sometimes you need to be a leader. You need to step in and
Mm.
kind of either make someone see something or kind of lead something in the right or a different direction. But
Right.
sometimes you have to be a follower. You have to support people, right, and not be a leader, right?
Yep.
I think
Yep.
support is very good. I'm both. I've developed my leadership skills over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Being a teacher and owning a business and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I started out as a follower, right?
Mm.
Um, Back when I was in college, I wanted to work in like the communications
Mm-hmm.
media. So I
Mm-hmm.
studied communications, and my goal actually was to just do backstage work, right? Just work the cameras or whatever, set up lights and things like that. That's all I really wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then people said, well, you should try more on camera stuff, or try this or try that, and try writing and this and that. And I did. And yeah, that was interesting. But it's not till I came to Japan to teach when I started to realize my leadership skills. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I think, is it more important to be a leader or a follower? I don't think, yeah, as you just really said, yeah, neither is more important than the other. What's
Mm,
important is to know when it is most beneficial for you to be the leader and when it is more beneficial for you to be the follower, and to take that role and do it to your best ability. That's what's really important, to recognize which role you should play in each situation and then do it to its best. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. I agree. Totally
Yep.
agree. And that's a skill though, to learn.
Oh,
Because some people
absolutely.
want to be leaders all the time, right?
Yep.
They want to
Yeah.
be me, 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 me. And other people, they don't want to be a leader at all, ever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I know people like that too, to show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure,
It's
being here in Japan. Hmm.
it's I mean, a leader, so I mean, what I've seen in Japan, and I'm sure it happens everywhere, but simply because I've lived most of my adult life in Japan, I've got more experience there. But things where you have uh people that have classes, right, for whatever, and some of so like a yoga instructor or a calligraphy teacher or so and so and so forth, right? And these people, they've got some kind of certification or whatever, they've gone through some kind of training or something like that, and then they take on students in their teaching, right? And everybody treats them with, deservedly, the proper respect and so on, and they have all this confidence and so on, right? And then
Yeah.
I've seen, people who don't have the credentials, but have the ability, be it, yoga or calligraphy, like I was talking about, or whatever, they have the skills. I mean, they're as talented as any of the instructors that I've ever seen in that area, and yet they still, they'll still attend somebody else's class. It's like they don't, because they don't feel that they have the ability or the authority to be the instructor, right? They'll still take the instructor's class, right? And so
Right.
it's that self-confidence, I think, as much as anything. I mean, the ability, and maybe the ability to be a teacher and so on is also important. But yeah, it
Yeah,
just struck me.
sure.
I've seen that happen several times. It's like the student is at least as skilled as the instructor, and yet the student is the student and the instructor is the instructor.
Yeah, totally right. I found that too. I totally agree with that. Yes, uh-huh. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. And you're right. I think it is self-confidence
Mm,
mainly more
yeah.
than anything. And in Japan, people like to Japanese folk, they like to kind of sit back and assess the situation,
Mm,
right? And not like jump in to be a leader and
mm,
whatnot.
mm.
So I've kind of got more on that track too.
Yeah.
Like if
Uh,
someone's asking for a volunteer to do something, right? No one will volunteer basically, right?
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
used to volunteer and get myself into a lot of work, right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Right, more work than I can probably do, right?
Mm,
And
mm.
so I kind of now I kind of sit back and I'm not going to jump in now,
Right.
right?
Right. It's like, I mean,
I'll just
one thing I
check
was
out
thinking
the
about, I mean,
scene and
a little bit related to, but so like outside of Japan, I've seen Japanese restaurants that are serving,
Mhm.
what are supposedly traditional Japanese foods that just aren't. I mean, they're using some
Yeah.
some
Oh
Japanese
gosh, yes.
ingredients and so on, and they'll put them together in combinations that you'd never find here. And yet, because this guy, he opens up a restaurant, and he says, "Oh, this is Japanese food, right?" And so people come in there, oh, they want to try the Japanese food, and what they're getting is really not Japanese food at all. But again, the guy opens it up with
Yeah,
all
I've
kinds of
had that
confidence.
experience.
Yeah, it's funny.
That is funny. Oh,
Yeah,
totally, totally. That's funny. Yeah, I think you wouldn't find that, or you would find that less maybe here.
yeah, less here, definitely less
Uh,
here. Yeah,
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 yeah.
definitely. All right, our
Would
last
you look
question. I
for a spouse on a dating site? Yeah. Okay. Good. Why or why not? Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Possibly I haven't had the opportunity or experience with that, and I haven't. I've never been on a dating site really. I mean,
Mm,
because I've been married and continuously for since I was about 26, actually.
wow.
So I don't know. Possibly. I
Yeah,
don't think so. No, I don't think so. Maybe.
you don't think so? Because
I
what's your reasoning
well,
there?
I think I like things to be kind of spontaneous, right, and non-planned a
Mm-hmm.
lot,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I guess you could have that on a dating site, but just the fact that you go to a dating site, it's not spontaneous.
Hmm.
Of
True.
course, then it's uncontrollable too. I mean, you can't control it. I mean, if my goal was to find a spouse, right,
Mm.
and I'm waiting around or hoping things would happen spontaneously and they don't, that's kind of hard too.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
So
do you feel that there's any
yeah.
kind of a stigma attached to, I mean, like, if, for example, you had initially met your current wife, if the first time, the initial meeting had been through some kind of an online dating site, would you feel some kind of embarrassment or reluctance to admit that to other people? Do you think there's any kind of a stigma attached to that?
I think there was,
Mm,
a while ago, 15 years ago, I think there was. And, these dating sites were just getting started then.
mhm,
And I mean, even 5, 6, 7 years ago, they weren't as prominent as they are now. And I think there was kind of a stigma attached to that. Yeah. And I think I
mm,
wouldn't have in the day, a
mm,
while ago, 10 8, 10 years ago. But I think now, I think the times have changed so much and technology has changed so much, and with COVID now we're all online anyway. So maybe now I wouldn't mind. How about
Yeah.
you?
Me, I'm almost the polar opposite. I mean, well, not that I use dating sites. I dabble around with them, a little bit, but I mean, I've never actually, met anybody that I was ever really serious about through a dating site. But um, I, I actually look at it as a very a reasonable way to expand your contacts, right? And I mean, to limit yourself to the people that you naturally cross paths with, and
Hmm.
have the chance to interact with to the level that you would know enough about them to either know that you are or are not interested in them. I mean, the number of people that you would randomly interact with in that way is so limited compared to what you could expose yourself to on a dating site using the internet and so on. I just think that it's a great tool, and I mean I think it has the potential to make much to create much better matches than just relying on coincidence or good luck, if you want to call it that, of you
Yeah.
coming across crossing paths in the real world with somebody that's actually the best match for you. So
Interesting. Yeah, gosh, I've never even been on a dating site.
mm,
I don't even know what they're like. I guess I should. And you're right. I think there is a role for it. There's
mhm.
definitely room for it, and there's a
Yeah,
role for it, and especially now, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like we're on because of COVID, right? But not
yeah.
only that, you and I are in Japan here,
Mm,
so we've got limited possibilities, right? For that, right?
yeah. Um,
And so, yeah,
yeah. So I mean,
might be good.
I knew a girl here in Kumamoto. She was I can't remember. I think she was like in her late 20s or early 30s, and she was looking for a husband, uh, and she was just not having any luck at all. Here locally, um, her parents actually, through relatives and so on throughout, Kumamoto and in the rest of Japan, doing the omiai thing, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Introductions that way, and
Arranged marriages, in other
yeah,
words,
arranged
right?
marriages,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, well, arranged marriage almost sounds like. I mean, the arranged marriages are kind of two. There's two different things that are called arranged marriages. One are, the old style where basically the parents choose the partner, right? It's like, okay, our family are tailors and they're a button maker, so that'd be a good combination. So we're going to marry you off to the son. Going to marry our daughter off to the son of the that company or whatever. That's an arranged marriage. But the OMI, are these these sites are introduction sites, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
they take the rather than arranged marriage, they're introduction sites. So they take the information, from all these different people and find what they think would be a good match, for various reasons and so on, and
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
introduce them. And she did that many times. I mean, she would
Wow.
go to
Okay.
Tokyo or here and there, Tokyo, Osaka, and different places, for these omiai meetings, right? And she never did find anybody that she clicked with through that way.
Wow.
But she was I can't remember what it was, some kind of social networking site where she came across somebody. I think they were I think they were living in Australia.
Wow. Okay.
It was a man living in Australia. Was in Australia. He'd actually immigrated from Brazil to Australia, and so he was outside his country, and so on. And he was kind of looking for a partner and so on. Wasn't successful, and she was the same way. And they just clicked, and they're married and living in Nagano now.
Wow. Okay. That's
Yeah,
cool. Okay. There
yeah,
you go. Right.
yeah,
That is a great story.
yeah,
I love that
yeah,
because
yeah,
she actually had that intention, right?
yep, yeah.
Which is great, and it came true for her, right? She
Yeah.
followed
Well,
it through
I
and
have
was
another story
successful and
similar to
everything.
that. A student that
Yeah.
I had at KGU,
Yes. Okay.
a student there. was always interested. I mean, she's one of my better students, always interested in foreign cultures and so on, especially in using English, but just in foreign cultures, especially particularly European culture.
Okay.
And Again, she was on not a dating site, but some kind of I don't know which social networking site that she was on, but she encountered a Dutch guy,
Wow.
uh,
Okay.
and they were communicating in English, of course, because both of their English skills were good, and he came over and visited her, right? And
Okay.
then he invited her to come over and visit him and meet his family, and she's in Holland right now.
Wow.
Yeah, they got married, and she's living in
Cool.
Holland now. Yep.
That's amazing. That's great.
Yeah.
Those are great stories. Yeah. Great
Yep.
stories. Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that
Yeah.
I mean, we can travel, of course, but again, even if you're traveling, the chances of you crossing paths with the perfect partner, or somebody that you're really going to click with, are just so small.
They
You
are.
really have to. I mean, the circumstances just have to be right. Whereas it seems to me, internet is a reasonable way to expand on that possibility. Oh, I know you got to get out of here soon, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, man. Thank you so much
Yeah. All
for
right.
remembering.
So, yeah, yeah.
Let me get
Thanks everybody
out.
for watching.
Yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Maybe if you're around later, Dan, we can jump on again
Yeah, yeah.
this
I got time.
afternoon a
Yeah,
bit.
I'm free all day. Yeah, this is my last Wednesday when I'm free all day. So yeah, this will be good.
Yeah, maybe 3, 4 o'clock.
All right. Yeah, send me a text. I'll probably be home by then. But yeah, we can do it there. Yep. Cool.
Okay, great.
All right. Thanks a
Thanks,
lot.
Dan.
Yeah, bye
Thanks
bye.
everybody for watching.